and welcome to Retrotainment. We're just here with a special episode due to the release of Space Jam 2 coming up. This is just an extra little bit of content for you all. We figured we'd review the first Space Jam, the greatest film ever made, the greatest film of all time. No arguments from anybody, please. Thanks very much.
Don't at him.
What?
Don't at you.
Don't at me. It's the greatest film of all time. It's got everything you could ever want. And, you know, people can say, oh, this or that. Is it, you know, oh, but that's an over 18 film, so you can't show it to kids. So therefore, it can't be the greatest film of all time. Sorry. Like, you know, there is a place for over 18 films and stuff, but you can't be the greatest film of all time if you're not, you know, available to everybody. So, sorry. You don't have Michael Jordan. You don't have Bill Murray. You don't have Danny DeVito. You're not the greatest film of all time.
Fair.
You don't have Bugs Bunny. You're not the greatest film of all time. Sorry. It's that simple. We're joined again by my co-host, capital C, capital O, Greg. How are you doing, buddy?
What's happening, homie?
Not too bad myself.
We segued off before the introduction there.
Yeah, before the introduction, just to let everyone know that this is the greatest film of all time. You know, I'm not having anybody telling me that they think something's better than this. There's nothing better. This is
how passionate you feel about this movie.
This is the film that I can't even remember when I decided that this was my favorite film of all time. I think somebody asked me, and I couldn't really think of anything. And I decided on this, and that's now my hill to die on. This is the greatest film.
It's no Home Alone 3 now.
Oh, Home Alone 3. Well, Home Alone 3 is the best of the Home Alones. I've said that before. Now, I haven't seen anything after Home Alone 3, so maybe some of them ones are better. But of the original 3, that's the best one. Don't at me on that either.
Twitter is blowing up right now.
This was released over here on the 21st of March, 97. And in the States, 15th of November, 96.
They're fucking knackers, they are.
They just really didn't like giving us stuff, you know. 4 months we had to wait for this to get over here.
Probably got it on pirate quicker than that.
Not back then, you wouldn't have.
Depends on who you knew.
You needed to have your blank. I didn't need a blank one, but your VHS, lads. That's what you needed. I don't know if you could see that. This fucking background doesn't allow. Look at that bad boy.
Nice.
Look at it. Nothing to stop you.
I remember having it. Is that the green box?
Oh yeah, she green box.
Yeah, I had a few of them. There's a couple of ones that I had that I remember. The Fast and Furious was yellow.
Yeah.
Space Jam was green. Godzilla was green.
Godzilla was a darker green though.
Yeah. It was obviously the color, nearly the color of Danny DeVito's chin there.
Yeah.
And then there was a few other ones that I had. Enter the Dragon was red.
Yeah, Enter the Dragon was definitely red, yeah. There was very few that actually did it. Most of them were just the generic...
grey.
Not even a grey, it's like a dirty white rather than a grey.
Yeah, well, you know the one I'm talking about, the normal fucking...
But as things moved on, you know, I couldn't watch VHSs forever, so I had to get the DVD, you know.
Maybe hold it in front of yourself.
Yeah, the DVD, and then, you know, Blu-ray has become a thing, so I had to get the Blu-ray.
And then it's on Netflix. So it's
not on Netflix anymore. It's gotten taken down off Netflix.
Already, has it?
Presumably because of the new one coming out, I would say.
Probably.
Yeah, we always take a quick look at the ratings. So out of 79 critics, they have it as 44%.
Oof.
Which is really bad. And then an audience score of 63%.
So arguably this is the worst rated film that we've reviewed.
I think it is on both fronts, yeah.
Between this and... another one that we've recorded that might come out later on in the month.
Yeah, I think this is probably the worst rated one on both fronts, like overall. I did have a quick look at what people disliked about it.
I can only imagine.
Most critics seemed to find the problem to be that it just focused on Michael Jordan. It was just a vanity project for him, and all they did was go, Bugs Bunny's popular, Michael Jordan's popular. Let's make a film and make money.
Well, actually, the original idea for this was a 3.5 minute ad.
Yeah, and then it spun off. But like, I don't understand. Every film's idea is to make money. So why is the fact that the idea of this is popular and this is popular, let's put them together and make some money? Why are you marking a film down for that? Some people said something about it was a bit childish. I mean, it's a kid's film. It's going to be childish. You know,
you just can't win. It's childish. It's a kid's movie, mate. Get over yourself.
Yeah. That seems like the main thing seems to be that people feel it was just a vanity project for Jordan, which, you know, yeah, in a way it was, but
part of it, like part of his signing on contract was then building him a basketball court.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, is that a reason to mark a film down? Like, this film wasn't any good because it was a vanity project for him. Like, that's not saying anything negative about the film. It's just saying you don't like that this is the reason a film was made, which to me...
Didn't he use the press tour to this to announce his return to basketball as well?
Yeah.
Where he was like, I'm back.
Yeah, he's back, you know? Jordan's back. Box office wise, though, 250.2 million box office. Speaks for itself.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Especially off an 80 million budget.
Yeah, mid-90s, you've got, Jordan, one of the most popular people in the entire world. And
what a polarizing figure he was.
Yeah, and then the Looney Tunes, like they're timeless.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that it's made that much money at all, to be honest.
I'd love to know what it made off DVD sales. VHS and...
There's the original website is still there for it from 1996. It's still up. Yeah, it still exists. They've just continued to pay the domain for it forever.
I'd say it's just a lifetime domain done for it.
No, you'd have to keep paying for it. So they've just continued to pay for it. I don't know why, but it's still there.
Jackpot.
Yeah. As far as an opening for a film goes, like this is
I love
great. This. Yeah, it's just such a great opening. Like the panning down from the night sky, with just like a real gentle sort of music, and then we see a young kid out playing basketball, and we have I Believe I Can Fly. Whatever about R. Kelly. Yeah, whatever about R. Kelly, I don't give a fuck about R. Kelly. The song works way too well in this film that for me to ever hate that song. I will always love that song.
It got marked down afterwards. I'd say more critics went on and
possibly, yeah.
Had a pop. Oh, I'm not watching that because R. Kelly gets thing off it. I can guarantee you that Warner Brothers have taken R. Kelly away from any rights to this movie.
He might still be getting money off it, but I don't care. That song. I'll still listen to that song. I'll still listen to that song, and it works so well for watching him out the back playing basketball, and then his dad comes out and he's like, "What are you doing out here?" And it's pitch black, so it's got to be,
It's late in the night. I'd say it's 10, 11.
Yeah, it's late at night. That kid should be in bed.
But what I don't understand is the dad's there, right? And if he's throwing basketball, the dad's gonna hear it.
Yeah, he does. That's why he comes out.
No, but it's not just the first time he shot that he came out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I love it. There, he's like, "Go on, shoot till you miss."
Yeah, he's like, "Just one more shot, please, Dad." And he's like, "Yeah, shoot till you miss," then, because he gets it, and he's not missing at all.
Yeah, this shows the quality. Now, I'd say there's some part of that was real.
There's a bit there, like apparently his dad was a real driver for those boys, like for that whole family, like you never accepted failure, so you just train like for the whole family. Michael Jordan's obviously just the most successful out of a lot of them, but when he was younger, some of his other brothers looked like they were going to be a huge success as well.
Sometimes luck gets in the way, or bad luck gets in the way, or it mightn't even have the desire to want to do it. Yeah.
What I love here is that he tells his dad, I'm going to play here. Now, obviously this is a bullshit, like I'm going to go play in North Carolina, which is where he goes and plays. And then I'm going to move on to the NBA. Like, I doubt all that was said, like, especially, I'm going to go play in this college, that's retrospective, like just throwing that in.
Well, I don't know. I'd say he's from there though, isn't he?
Yeah, but
from North Carolina. So like I know a lot of sports stars in terms of the NFL that I watch a lot of. They'd say that they'd want to play for their home college. Now, sometimes it's not an option. And North Carolina were probably a good college team at the time.
No, they were, and like it is a good school, but like usually a kid that age would just be saying, I'm going to play in the NBA. He's not like planning his future out. I'm going to play basketball, and then I'm going to go to college and all this. But then he says, then I'm going to go play baseball. And then he's going in with his dad, and he turns around to make the next shot, and then we see like a career sort of like a mini career highlights. But the song "Welcome to the Jam," like just what a song too.
That song was on the radio today.
It's so good.
Yeah, but like some of the dunks, and you see him playing, and the real life video as well.
Oh yeah, like this is just videos of him playing back in the day. It's brilliant.
What a player!
Yeah, the best.
Like we've said it. I've said it in on other ones when we've done sports movies. There's certain figures that bring forward a sport. This man brought basketball forward, and even I said it the other day. I said he brought baseball a lot of sponsors as well. Now I know baseball was big, but
well, baseball is big in the States.
Yeah,
It's not big
but
anywhere else.
he got a lot. He got a lot. I'd say he got a lot of attention.
He did get eyes on it, just not in the way he wanted, I don't think.
Well, like those lads are training every day of their life, and he can't go from playing basketball to that. It's just not the same. Like,
but the next scene we see is we're up on Moron Mountain, and this is when we get to see Danny DeVito's character Swackhammer.
Moron Mountain.
And the little kids at the theme park, and they get shot off the ride, and he's like, "This place stinks. Don't bring me here anymore.
This place stinks. Don't bring me here anymore." Okay.
And Swackhammer sees this, and he's like, "We need new attractions." And he's trying to think of word. He's like, "We need something."
Looney.
And then he sits down on the remote, and one of the kids, like one of the little nerd looks, goes, "Looney," and like claps his hand over his mouth. You know, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. And he's like, he looks up, he's like, "Yes, Looney, get me the Looney Tunes." And you just see, classic Looney Tunes shit, like
genius.
People getting bonked on the head, like running around doing mental shit, like
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, some of the best. And then we're back down to Jordan playing basketball, and he sucks. Like, he's even getting told, "Don't swing now."
Baseball.
Or sorry, playing baseball. He's just been told, "Don't swing, do swing."
Yeah,
do swing.
It's an outside pitch. Don't swing.
Yeah, like even when he's cheating, he's not that good. Like,
yeah, I'd say that's pretty much probably what happened too.
Yeah, but this is
maybe not the cheating, but
maybe not to that level. But I'd say there was a bit of like,
go easy,
give him an easy pitch,
Yeah.
But then we get to see the introduction of one of the best characters, Stan Podolak.
Mr. Jordan.
When he falls, I just love it. He falls over this thing, and they're all like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, oh! He realizes that it's Jordan talking to him. He's like, "Oh, Jordan, Mr. Jordan, you need anything. You want the washing done, the kids looked after. I'm your guy."
I love him. I love Wayne Knight.
Yeah, he's the fat, blumbering idiot. He's so good at it.
And he's brilliant in Jurassic Park as well.
Yeah, do you know, if I was to tell you who he was in Toy Story 2, who do you think he was?
Toy Story 2.
So you're talking the one with Jesse and like the prospect and the horse and stuff.
Right. Well, I know the prospector was Kelsey Grammer.
Think of the characters in it and think which one would be him if it was a live action.
Oh, I can't think.
The collector, the guy who buys Woody.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Look at him. That is him. Like, it's just him to a T. Yeah. It's so good.
I wouldn't mind now to just say you can hear the voice going. Yeah, and like,
yeah, and it looks like not like looks like him exactly, but it has that demeanor of big kind of fat like blumbering idiot. Like, he's so good at it.
Yeah, he's brilliant in everything he's in.
Yeah, but we see just as he tells Jordan that he's going to look after him and bring him everywhere, we see the spaceship just fly by, and everyone's like,
"What was that?"
Nobody really wants to say, "Was that a spaceship?" They're all just like, "That didn't happen, right?" Nobody saw that.
That's a real. To me, it's kind of like having a little mini pop at the American government.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a little shot there. Like,
but brilliant though.
We see them fly over, and then they just crash into this supermarket car park and just drive down, like they're just diving through the earth and crash down into it. This is how you get to Looney Tune land. You just dive, you just keep digging through the earth. That's how you get there.
You get there eventually. No left turns, no right turns, just straight down.
Straight down. But they get there, and I love this. Like, you just see it's Elmer Fudd hunting Bugs Bunny, and they land, and the thing comes down and just clonks Elmer on the head.
We're looking for Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, huh? Does he have great big long ears like this? Does he hop around like this? Does he a carrot like this?
And does he say, "Well, what's up, Dad?"
Like this? Not gonna try do that. But
no, probably not.
Then they're all like, yeah, and he's like, "Nope, never heard of him." And then he goes to walk off, and they just shoot him, and he's left on this little crater in the middle of the thing.
Give it up, Bunny.
Yeah, give it up, Bunny. It's such a good introduction of them, like, because they are tiny, but they've got, they've clearly got these
space weapons.
Yeah, like these space weapons that are just gonna wreck everybody. So Jordan goes, like, we see Jordan get home, and he can't get out of the car, so Stan has to help him open the door because it's a classic, you know. It's got a few little hinks, but it's a classic, right?
I'd have it.
Yeah, well, you'd have anything, I suppose.
That's it.
But his kids come home, and his eldest is, you know, you can see how dejected he is after the baseball training, and they're like, "What happened?" And he's like, he had a bad day," and they're talking about batting average and stuff like that. I don't really understand that.
Yeah, no. I take it was a bad day.
It was a bad day at the office, it seems, and he goes in, and the kids are watching the news, and they're like, "Jordan," the news is just saying like, get this guy a tennis racket," and Jordan's like, "Is this the only thing on?" So he switches it, and he's like,
Looney Tunes,
watch that," and then he walks out of the room, and well, Looney Tunes gets cancelled because there's an important tune meeting to be had.
That's a brilliant thing. It's very, you mightn't even notice it happening to an extent, and it just looks like a part of the thing. But yeah, it just cuts out. Then you're like,
what I love is that Wile E. Coyote is like about to catch the Roadrunner this time, and he comes in. Come on, we've got a tune meeting, and then Roadrunner runs off, and he's left with the rocket.
Bye.
And he's just like looks, and it just shoots him up into the air, and he's gone.
It's that simple, mindless comedy.
But it's the same thing that would always happen with the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Like every time he thought he had him, something came up, you know, or something failed or whatever.
Priceless.
Yeah, just brilliant.
Yeah.
But they get brought down. Like we see the tune meeting, and the aliens are like, okay, and we see the leader of the aliens, which is the little orange guy, who is
little orange guy.
The little orange guy, Pound, right? That's his name. His name's Pound, right?
Is it actually?
Yeah, his name's Pound, right? He's the leader. So he steps up and he tells all the Looney Tunes, you know, all right, you're coming with us back to Moron Mountain. And they all just start laughing at him, you know. Yeah, all right, like, yeah, we're gonna come with you. And we see Yosemite Sam, and I love how he walks up the stairs. He like shoots the guns at the ground that like bop him up the stairs rather than just walking up.
Genius. It's just classic.
But he pulls the two guns on them, and then they just shoot him, and they all just whoop.
Yep.
And as they're
piss them off.
Yeah, as they're like, right, we're gonna go. Bugs is like, no, you can't just kidnap us. And they're like, why not? And he turns around and he's like, just a second. And you can see him like writing. And he turns around and it's just this book. He's like, it's in the rules.
Give us a chance.
It's just a big sticky note. Give them a chance. And they're like, it is in the rule book. We got to give them a chance. So they call a tune meeting. Right. Well, what are we gonna do? They're discussing, you know. And I love this. Like they're discussing it, and Sylvester comes up and he's like, I say, we wait until the old woman's gone. We get a ladder, climb up to the cage, and then we get that bird. And they're just like, Sil, like,
give it up.
There's some other stuff that's more important here, you know. Don't worry about catching that little fucking bird. Like,
and he's like this. He's holding his tongue and it's going red.
so good. But they decide they're going to play basketball. And
because they're small.
Yeah, they're
not
small,
very fast.
They can't jump. Great, you know, the perfect plan. But they showed him a little video, and it's like the best players in the world play in the NBA. Now, the aliens hear that and they're like, the best players, okay.
The NBA.
They have an idea. The NBA, that's where they're going to get. They're going to learn how to play basketball by going to an NBA game. You know, just as spectators. That's it. They just want to watch.
I love this, though, where they go to the NBA.
Yeah, it's so good. They go off to the NBA and they're sitting court, like they're not courtside, but your woman's like knocking her husband. I thought you were going to get better seats, and he's like, "This is the best we can afford." She's like, "There's some guy doing something weird in his coat."
I can't remember. He's famous in certain things as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he is though.
Yeah, I'm the same. Every time I look at him, I'm like, "Who is he?" But he is from something.
Yeah.
But I love that she's like, "This guy beside me is doing something weird in his coat." And it's, you know, like you can see their little hands coming out of the coat and stuff.
Oh, she's looking.
She's looking. Close it up. But he's like, he just tells her like, listen, leave me alone. Barkley's killing us out here.
Somebody's killing somebody.
And you know, it's Charles Barkley, not Gnarls Barkley, the singer. It's not him. Charles Barkley, basketball player.
The real Barkley. He's no Ross Barkley now, to be fair.
No, he's not. And one thing I like that this is, you know, you see them playing, and it's Pound that decides, right, this one's mine, and he turns into this like gel.
Ew.
Yeah, like, but the whole thing that they were in like sags down, and nobody else notices.
Yeah,
But this guy is just
she
like,
does.
yeah, she does, but nobody else does. And then he goes in and he steals the power, comes back in,
Yeah, and then
jumps into the ball, leaves the powers there, and comes back out. So
I love
that's
when
where
he
he's
comes back out. There's like a big drop of juice just comes out of it.
yeah, but he's like, I've stolen it. I got it. I got his talent. So we know what their plan is now. They're going to steal the talent, and we
Yeah.
see a second player's talent get stolen with the same game, which is Patrick Ewing, and his is stolen by the green guy.
Got a name?
I do have a name. Bang is his name. They're not inventive, Greg.
What
Bang.
Pound, Bang, and what?
Well, Muggs gets stolen by the little red guy called Naut, Nawt. Sean Bradley, which is the really tall guy, his gets stolen by the blue one, and his name's Blanco.
For fuck's sake.
And Larry Johnson. Oh no, sorry, I have that wrong. Sean Bradley is stolen by purple, which is Bupkis.
Oh my god.
And then Larry Johnson, which is the tall guy, his gets stolen by the blue one, which is Blanco.
Oh yeah.
So they've stolen all the powers from these players, and we return to see, Bugs Bunny and all are practicing golf, and the little aliens come. They're like, "It's our turn to use the court," and Bugs is like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." Like they say it's their turn to like use the court. Let's go. So they leave, and as they're leaving, the boys take the powers out of the ball, and they turn from these little shitty aliens into the Monstars.
Well, yeah, they turn it into basically the players they've stolen.
Yeah, but these huge versions of them, and this is when they I don't know if you knew this, but there's different voice actors for when they're the small aliens to when they're the big aliens.
Oh, I'd say so, because they go from squeaky to really, really deep.
Yeah, so two different, like, you have to get two different sets of voice actors in for this whole thing, like.
But I would have guessed that, or they've had one really good voice actor, but they.
Yeah, so they have two different sets of voice actors for this, but this is when the Toons realize,
we're in trouble.
We're in trouble, because they're not little small guy. Well, the little red guy is still small. Naut is still small, but
Muggsy.
yeah, little Muggsy, he's still small, but they realize, right, we need to do something. So we see Jordan out playing golf with Bill Murray and Larry Bird, and obviously stands there,
Here's one for you. They actually played that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they played
They're all
that.
big golfers, yeah.
Do you know what Jordan had on that hole?
What?
In real life, he had a 7.
7. Yeah,
quite different to what he ends up with in this.
Well, he got a hole in one in this. What I like here is that, like, Jordan was notorious for betting when he was playing golf and stuff. Like, closest to the pin would have been a very normal thing for him.
Oh, that's a normal thing, kind of, in most.
Yeah, but now Jordan's were big money bets, not you buy dinner sort of thing.
He's big money player though.
Yeah, but I like that. Larry takes a great shot. Bill Murray has an okay shot. And then Jordan's like, all right, closest to the pin, buys dinner. And he hits his one. And, it's not a bad shot. It's pretty good. Like, he gets onto the green. But we see Bugs' hand come up with a magnet.
I just don't understand it. There's no metal in a golf ball.
No, it doesn't even make sense. What I like is that they don't just drag it straight to the hole. They drag it so it's like around the hole.
I love Bill Murray here. It is alive.
But he gets a hole in one, and he goes up, and he reaches in to get the ball. And this is the first time we see we see the little rope come up out of the
Yeah, no one notices.
No, what I love is Stan's like, just take the picture, and he's got the camera, and he's ready, and it's it's a
little Polaroid.
It's not even a Polaroid. It's one of those ones you have to like roll and then get developed.
Oh,
so
he
clicks the button, and Jordan goes down the hole, and Bill Murray and Larry Bird are just kind of looking at it.
Don't point that at me.
And he's like, "What sort of camera is that?" And he's like, "It's just don't point that at me." And you're like, "I don't think it's a camera." And I mean, if it is, you just watch that man get sucked down that hole. Bit weird.
A rope came up.
I could understand that maybe they didn't see the rope. You're not paying that much attention. but like he definitely didn't just disappear. He got sucked down the golf hole.
Yeah.
Which you could say, well, they didn't see it, but you see later on that Stan is out there digging a hole, saying he's fixing a divot. So he saw it.
What the hell are you doing? I'm fixing a divot. Oh, he's fixing a divot.
Nobody, no one with any questions after that. Just I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
No questions.
Like the easiest answer there would have been, I'm fixing the irrigation system or something.
Yeah, but you think like if you're going to golf on a course, they'd tell you, oh, by the way, that hole whatever is out. Like someone's fixing something on it. Not just you go up and your man's just doing it, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Nothing weird there.
Then again, it could be like that could happen. Like they could get a random thing happen during the day. Like, but
it could, but it seems unlikely. Jordan gets sucked down into Looney Tune land, and he lands on the
barber chair.
The barber chair. This is just great. When he's on the barber chair, and they're like, we need to check him out. And Daffy comes out, and he's like, I'm the doctor, and he's like, okay, let's hire him up a bit, and he just shoots him up into the air. And I love, he just looks up and he just looks at him, and Jordan's like, no, and he's like, coming down. Ooh!
Kind of like that ride you'd have in Funderland or something, when you go up and come back down.
But he hits the ground, and then they do the inspection, and he just, this big stamp, A-OK, just on the top of his big bald head.
And it's a shiny bald head.
Yeah. And then he's just like, okay, so what am I doing here? Like, real, yeah, this could happen, easy.
He doesn't look like much of a basketball player.
It's so he's just asking them like, what am I doing here? Not like, how did I get here? Anything like that. Just, why am I here?
Yeah.
And Bugs explains, he's like, well, these aliens came down. They're little small guys. So we challenged them to a game of basketball, but now they ain't so small anymore.
I love what's his name? The stuttering guy, Porky.
Oh, Porky Pig, yeah.
He comes up and says, Mr. Jordan, can I have your autograph? Your Johnny Hancock?
Your John Hancock? He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
But
that could be Wayne Knight as well.
It could be, yeah. Maybe. But they've dragged him down, and they're like, right, come on, we'll bring you to the court, and they bring him to this court, and it's.
I love how he's like, I'm a baseball player now. I don't play basketball anymore. I'm a baseball player.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter, just come with us. So they bring him to this court, and he's like, it's horrible. We've got a court, we've got hoops, and Daffy hangs off it and it breaks, and then we've got balls, and it's like a tennis ball, a golf ball, an American football, all falling out of this big, like this locker.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he's just like, I don't think we're gonna play here. This place is a mess. And they're like, nothing a little spit shine wouldn't clean.
Call in the beast.
Spit shine, and you see them all spitting everywhere, and then Taz comes in with 2 mops.
The beast. He's my favorite Looney Tune.
He's definitely up there for me. Cleans it up. It looks great.
Oh, it looks pristine.
I mean, there was about 8 different hoops hanging on the side of it, and they're all gone, and now there's just one nice hoop. But fair play to him. He did a good job.
And we're not talking about Lola Bunny here.
No, well, she hasn't come into it just yet. This is when the Monstars do show up.
This was wasn't this where she first got introduced?
No, she gets introduced a little bit later.
No, but the film.
The film, yeah. This is the first time she's ever introduced as this film, yeah. But we see him, he's there, and the Monstars come in, and they're like, he doesn't look like much of a basketball player to me. And they're kind of insulting him. They turn him into this little ball.
That square.
Yeah, square ball that they're bouncing around and shooting, and then he rolls up on the floor after they dunk him. It's so good. Like even the animation for that I think is great.
Yeah, like my God, like I know I was reading up on this obviously before I come on, and I usually have a lot of the interior fix. 95% of this movie was filmed in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
Along with the actors in green suits. Imagine how fucking warm it'd be to be in one of them all day.
Well, do you know that scene where Jordan's sitting on the chair?
Yeah.
It's just a green screen behind him, and this guy in a green suit like sitting on his lap and stuff. That's how they filmed that. Like the guy had to like sit in his lap because they needed Bugs to be like right up in his face.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Crazy, isn't it?
Sit in my lap and talk about the first thing that pops up.
Jesus. I love here that the one thing that Jordan takes offense to is when the Monstars call him Baldy.
Yeah.
Nothing about
Baldy.
Who you call him Baldy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Baldy.
I love that Tweety Bird tries to help him.
Yeah, not Baldy now, as in like Baldy from Dublin. Not him. They don't think he's that lad.
Yeah.
Calling out Bucko, they don't think it's him. But
Yeah. Tweety
we
Bird
got
gets smashed.
yeah. We see the talentless players now, and again, this is great. Like you see Charles Barkley walking along, and the girls playing basketball, and they're like, "You're Charles Barkley," and he's like, "Yeah, I am." Like, come on in and play, and they batter him.
That person that's talking to him looks like a boy.
I know, yeah, but
I'd have to watch it. If I watched that now for the very first time, I'd say that's a boy.
I know, yeah.
I know he says it later on, but
she says like, "Come on, girls, come over here."
Yeah, you're not Charles Barkley. You're just some wannabe.
You got to get out of here.
Bounce
and I
out.
loved it. They're all doing this different stuff. So like, they're at like the church, and he's like, I won't smack talk after any games. I won't go with my Madonna anymore. And he's bad. Like, you saying it's because I disrespected my mama? I didn't say that, Muggsy. You did. Why would I do that? I love my mama.
He's at the psychiatrist.
Yeah, and I love my mama.
Then you have the other lads that are too long for the seat thing.
Yeah, and then Patrick Ewing, he's like, are you failing to perform in any other areas? No.
There's some really, really subtle but funny bits in this.
Oh yeah, it's like, but then they're in the doctors, and they're walking along, and the doctor's talking to them like, we're gonna do this test, and Muggsy's fine, he's short, just walks through, but the three boys clunk their heads.
One of them's in a wheelchair as well, isn't he?
No, they're in the wheelchair later, when they're going for some other tests, electrolyte tests and stuff. Then they're all in the wheelchairs getting wheeled around. And then Charles Barkley's at the psychiatrist, and he's like, and this little girl, like, she blocked my shot, and this happened in a dream. This wasn't a dream.
It's mad.
It's so good. You see how like desperate they've gotten that, and then they go to like the psychic and all, and they're like, I see Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
It's class.
And they're all just like, I think we should get out of here. Like, let's go for some acupuncture. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I think so.
Tried everything else.
This one's mental. Then
we see, wasn't it? Is it the LA Lakers boss cancels the game?
Yeah. The president of the NBA cancels. He's like, there's going to be no more NBA until we find out what's causing this.
It was a nuclear attack. It was terrorists.
Yeah, they have no idea, so they're just like, okay, no more NBA.
What was the other one? Oh, it was a virus.
Yeah, but like, imagine the NBA getting shut down. Like, there would have been uproar.
Well, it did get shut down, didn't it? At the back end of last year with the whole Black Lives thing. They shut it down for 3 games or something.
Yeah, but like, this was like shut down. Now, this is all over. Yeah. Well, this is all over like one day.
Yeah, because we're back into the baseball the next day.
Yeah, it's all pretty much one day, but like, there would have been uproar about this. Yeah. This is when we see Lola show up, and she shows up because Jordan steps onto the court, and his shoe gets stuck, and he's like, does anyone here even
wear shoes?
He's like, does anybody here know how to play basketball? And they're all like, no. And they're like, he's like, right, somebody needs to go get my stuff. So Bugs and Daffy go off to get his stuff.
I love how he gives them the list. So I need my sneakers, I need my jersey, and I need my Lucky shorts from North Carolina. I wore them under my Bulls shorts every game. I washed them after every game too. Let's be fair now, pal. You don't wash a Lucky jersey or anything like that. That's just bad juju.
Yeah, but if he thinks it's lucky to wash them, then maybe it is. But none of them believe him, and they go off to get the stuff for him. And I love, like, they go and get the stuff, and Daffy is like, Bugs is like, we should go this way, and Daffy's like, no, we'll go this way. I mean, I'd probably just trust the guy who is a bunny rabbit,
Yeah, going underground.
But he meets the dog.
The dog.
Doesn't have a good time. Yeah, batters him around.
Max, isn't it? Charles. Yeah.
But Bugs gets in, and then they get the knock on the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
He's just in beds.
Yeah, but they go around and they're finding the stuff in the house. There's one shoe, the other shoe's up there.
Random places.
Yeah, they're like, what have we got everything? And they're like about to leave.
The shorts.
But as they're doing that, they go up the stairs,
Yeah, this is
and
probably the
the little
youngest
kids'
kid.
room, and they're like, shh, look at all the stuff she's got, like, mugs and like, t-shirts and stuff. Do you ever see any money for that?
Have you seen any
No.
royalties?
No, me neither. Oh, we need to get better agents.
There's brilliant sly digs in this to everything.
Yeah, but they get everything, and then they're about to leave, and they're like, "Uh-oh, the shorts!"
In air,
And he opens the door, and the dog's got them in his mouth, and he's like, "I found the shorts."
closes the door, and the dog drops the door.
Dog just knocks this door on top of him, and they're sitting there. I love they pull out the bone, the squeaky ham, and the dog's having none of it. Like,
I ain't touching that. No.
Yeah.
Have a bone. Have a holiday ham.
But the kids come in and they save the day.
Here you go, Bugs. No questions asked.
Yeah, just here you go, Bugs. Yeah, we just need them for your dad's other game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna help us play a game tonight.
Yeah, he's gonna help us in a game tonight. Oh, okay, yeah, fine. Two
later,
Looney Tunes in my house. Yeah, that seems normal. Yeah. But they get back down, and we see Jordan, practicing on the court, and you see him just. I'm assuming this is just filmed in a real court, like, because this is all stuff he could do. It's just slowed down shots of him, like,
laying up and
dunking it and laying it up and dribbling and stuff.
There's only probably so much you could do by yourself anyway. Like I know between sets Jordan had organized games.
Yeah, he had all the boys out there to play with him, that he could get back his.
Apparently his training regime, because obviously he was playing baseball.
Insane.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think he'd stopped baseball at this point because he knew he was going back to basketball, but he
hadn't announced it yet.
He hadn't officially said he was back yet. But this is when we see when they're on the way back, Bugs and Daffy are on the way back, and Stan is still digging, and he hears them. And this is the one that there is another sly dig here, and they're like, "Now I was thinking of a name for the team," and Daffy's like, "What about the Ducks?"
Doesn't that happen when they're trying on the uniforms?
No, this is when they're bringing him down the stuff, and he's like, they've just got the stuff, and they're about to bring it down to him so he can start practicing.
Yeah, the Ducks. What a Mickey Mouse name.
What sort of Mickey Mouse organization would call a team the Ducks? And it is what it is. Warner Brothers. It's a shot at Disney. Mickey Mouse is Disney's thing. The Ducks, the Mighty Ducks came out in '92.
Disney were part of the Anaheim Ducks as well, were they not?
Anaheim Ducks were created on the back of the Mighty Ducks films.
Yeah. So I think Disney had a part in the start of it, though, didn't they?
Yeah. It was Disney owned the team. Disney created the team on the back of the success of the film.
They don't own them now, though, do they?
No, they sold them. Yeah. That's why they're no longer called the Mighty Ducks now. They're technically called the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim now, and basically just the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, right, yeah.
But yeah.
It's brilliant. It's another sly shot.
It's just a little sly dig, but like they could have just said, why would you call a team the Ducks? That's already a dig, but they even go further and like, what sort of Mickey Mouse organization would call their team the Ducks? It's an extra sly dig as well, because it's making fun of the company as well as the team name. And this is where we see Lola Bunny come in, and she has the one-on-one with Bugs.
This is definitely another reason why it's marked down, because she was very, very over-sexualized in this movie.
Yeah, see, people said this, and this is one of the problems that people have with the new film, that they were like, we're going to tone that down. And I get it. They've decided they want to tone it down. That's fine. Like, it's a kid's film. I don't really care.
No, I don't know. Like, I hadn't, it sounds weird when you say I hadn't got a problem with it when I watched it years ago. I don't have a problem with it now, but I'd say that's one of the reasons.
It is. Yeah, it is. Like, people felt that she was overly sexualized. And
it's the same with Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, it is. It's exact, and it's a thing of like, that's what the 90s kind of were like. You look at anything in the 90s, that's kind of the way it was. Whether it was right or wrong, that's just kind of the way things were.
Yeah, it's a different time.
Yeah, like it's just the way it was. There's no shade. Like, I don't have a problem with them changing it in the new Space Jam that's coming out.
I'd be pissed if they went back and changed it in this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't like them to go back and change it, and I don't think Disney ever will. I think they'll just leave this the way it is. Well, yeah, Warner Brothers. Sorry, Warner Brothers aren't going to change it because they've never changed anything. They've always just said, like, we'll just put that thing at the start and say, like, listen, this is a reflection of the time, and to change it is to pretend it never happened, and that's not fair either.
Yeah.
But this is again where there's another little adult joke, because Bugs goes like stiff when she kisses him on the head.
She gives him the old runaround on there.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, it's just it's an adult joke,
No, but like she gives him the runaround into terms of the one-on-one. Like
Oh yeah, when she plays him in one-on-one, she destroys him, and then she jumps up, and we learn she's like 3 feet when she's getting introduced later. So she slam dunks from 3 feet 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah, but like you look at that, right? When you see her standing beside Bugs in this, Bugs gets introduced as 6'6".
No, he doesn't. He gets introduced as 3'6".
Or 3'6". Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So he, they're only rabbits. They're not that big. They're not gonna be 6'6", Greg. Like huge monster.
No, I know. I just why I was like, isn't it 6'6" he gets introduced that, including his ears? But yeah.
No, it's 3'4" and then 3'6" if you include the ears. I think. No, sorry, 3'6" and then 4 foot if you include the ears.
Right. For sure.
But she's now part of the team as well, and this is, as you said earlier,
is name number 2 on that team.
Yeah, and as well, name number 3 because number 1's Jordan, number 2 is Bugs.
He's the captain.
Well, they're co-captains.
Yeah,
well, and then she's
co-captain.
No, then she's the next on the list, obviously. But as you said earlier, this is her introduction to the Looney Tunes. Like this is when she first. I don't even think she does a whole lot in Looney Tunes after this.
I think she was in that Looney Tunes one with Brendan Fraser.
There's a couple of bits where she's in it, and then they made the like Tiny Toons thing where they're all kids and she's in that. But I don't think she was a big
the Animaniacs kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't really watch a whole lot of Looney Tunes that I remember much later.
It used to be on a Saturday morning. I remember that.
I watched it when I was a kid, but I have no memory of her being in a lot of them because most of them are reruns anyway. So
I'm nearly sure this is her.
This is definitely her introduction. This was definitely her introduction, but I don't know if she was in a lot after this.
Yeah.
What I like here is that they get into like the game. Everyone gets introduced. Taz gets introduced, and then Lola gets introduced, and then Daffy comes out, and nobody claps. It's so good.
No, well, like even just before the game starts, where they're getting the uniforms.
Oh,
and Daffy's modeling the uniforms.
Yeah,
give it the runway.
Yeah, he's got like the purple and gold, which is the Lakers,
Yeah, and then it has the he comes out with the Lilo ring and all on.
Yeah, the Lilo ring, the body armor spikes on the Road Warrior spikes on his shoulders. Now that's so good. But when they come out, like
brilliant little tricks to everything.
Yeah, but I love that like they all come out and it's like clapping for everyone. Daffy comes out and the whole crowd is silent, and he's just like, yes. All right.
I love it though. Just even before they come out, where you see it, it's like big game tonight, and the big traffic queues to get up.
Just this massive queue.
The bull driving this small little car.
This is the biggest automobile I could afford.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant.
But they all get introduced, and the big reveal is that Jordan's going to play for them, and then the Monstars come out.
There's part of me hoping they do that in the new one, right?
I don't think they will, but they should.
But they use either Michael or Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer would be a great one, wouldn't he?
Yeah, like Bruce is better than Michael, but I take either of them.
Yeah, but this is when we see, like the game's about to start. Swackhammer shows back up, and he's up in this like royal box, like this massive thing with like a dinner, like a ham and like turkeys and everything around them, and a load of the other little, minion things around. Well, not minions, but like pupkis. What are they called?
The little small things, whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're all around him. And
he flicks them.
Get away from me! Bing. They're like cutting it, like filing his nails and everything. But the game starts, and it's a decimation. Really, basketball is you're allowed some contact in basketball, but I don't think you're allowed swat people away and elbow drop them on the head and all stuff like that.
It's so funny when he climbs up on the net and he goes for the elbow.
Yeah, that's a little bit later, but I love that the Monstars score a couple and then Jordan scores one, and Swackhammer's like,
that guy?
How did he do that?
Yeah, where did you get that guy?
Is that guy a Looney Tune? I guess. Yeah. None of them know. They're all just like, because obviously they're from outer space. They don't really know who he is. I guess.
Who is that guy?
But we see the scoreboard going up and up and up and up and up, and it eventually just says,
kind of one-sided, isn't it?
Yeah. So the second half ends, and it's 66-18.
Yeah.
Now they don't show it that's the score, but when they next come out, we see a basket scored, and it goes up to 68-18. So
yeah, you
can just assume that's what it was. Yeah, you can kind of assume that. Stan sneaks into their into the Monstars locker, and he hears them say, you know, we stole the NBA's talent, and he now knows. And Swackhammer's like, something smells in here. Well, we have been playing pretty hard. It's so good. Like, but they're like, no, it's coming from over here. So they
all
burn
just pile
him
on the locker.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. And then they send him back into the locker room, and he explains to Jordan, "This is what's happened."
And then
they've stolen all the talent, and all the Tunes are really like dejected, and they're like, "We should just give up, and like we're gonna be slaves."
Yeah, and then Bugs comes up with the water.
Well, Jordan gives like this rousing speech of like, "We never give up," and all this, and they're all asleep. And Bugs is like, "Yeah, you had them all captivated," and he's taken Jordan's water bottle and put a sticker over it that says
Michael's special stuff,
Michael's secret stuff, and he's like, he takes a slurp of it, and he's this big muscular buff lad, like muscles on muscles on muscles on muscles. It's huge, like.
No, don't hog that, Michael. Why are you hiding that out of us?
Yeah, and then he shares it around to all of them, and they all think they're, you know, beasts. And then Stan gets it, and there's none left.
Yeah, it was just water.
Yeah, but they go out, and you know, the second half, this is when they, you know, they pull it all back. They start scoring shots everywhere, and
I love this. The two lads come out as like Men in Black and everything.
Right, so that's what I was going to say. When I was younger, I always thought that was Men in Black.
Yeah, it's not.
It's Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought to myself, "Oh, the Men in Black," and then
this came out. This would have been before Men in Black.
I know, yeah, but as a kid, you know, you just think, "Oh, Men in Black." It's the Men in Black.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
Yeah, but it's Pulp Fiction. But you don't know that until you're older and you've gone and seen Pulp Fiction, like.
Well, you shouldn't have been watching Pulp Fiction at this age if we were.
No, that's what I mean. Until you're older and you've seen Pulp Fiction, and then you're like.
But you know what? Do you know what gives it away that it's Pulp Fiction?
The song,
the music, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Pulp Fiction song, like.
I know. I said they come out as Men in Black, but I was gonna say it to you. I was like, it's not actually Men in Black.
Yeah, that's one thing.
You bastard.
Yeah. One thing for that I've always loved is when Seamus and Cesaro did that years later, but they're obviously the Looney Tunes because it's the redhead and the bald guy.
The bar.
Yeah, the bar, but it's the one red-haired guy, which is Yosemite Sam, and then Cesaro as Elmer Fudd, like.
Yeah, so brilliant.
They played off, you know, Looney Tunes played off Pulp Fiction, WWE played off Space Jam.
Yeah, genius.
Classic. But there's so much stuff, you know, like they take your man's shorts off, nice butt, and then they paint the big red circle on him, and
the ball that we seen earlier.
The ball comes down and knocks him out of it, and just everything, like they're just absolutely. Little Tweety Boy batters everybody around him.
He does the Bruce Lee on it.
Yeah, it's great. Like you just see everyone like, and they pull it back into a very close score of 77 to 74. And then a timeout is called.
Yeah, this is where he says it to him, though, isn't it? He's like, "Why didn't you get that guy?"
Yeah, he was like, "I want that guy." And
he's a baseball player.
He's a baseball player, boss. He looks like a basketball player to me.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, me too. I love the Blanco, the big blue guy, is so good, and it's like he's just so dopey and just. Oh yeah, me too. It's everything about him. But this is when the Monstars kind of take back over. They make the deal that like if they win,
Jordan will go as well.
Jordan will go, and Bugs is like, don't make that deal and stuff. But he makes the deal. And he's like, but you have to give the NBA players their talent back if we win. Like, so they make the deal, and then Swackhammer's like, crush them, and the Monstars take back over. And this is when you see it's a big belly flop from the.
Oh yeah. He tries to go for Lola.
Yeah, and Bugs like pushes her out of the way. He takes the shot. What a hero!
That's a pretty sick bump.
Yeah, what a hero! Flattened. I love when Daffy gets squashed. And then your man picks up his hand, and Daffy's like holding onto his face and like pulls his whole face across. And now his eyeballs are like here and here rather than where they should be. And he's like, "But mommy, I don't want to go to school today. I want to stay home and bake cookies with you."
I use that so much, did I?
When you were a kid.
No, I still use it now. If somebody asked me to do something earlier or something, I'd be like, no.
But it's so funny, like just everything about them. But they're starting to crush everyone. And this is when we see the little mouse. Jordan has to bring someone on, and he's looking, and there's not many people left. Everyone's kind of injured.
I love how one of them's in the iron lung and everything.
Yeah, but I love he brings on the mouse, and Stan's like, the mouse? He picks the mouse? But you can see Elmer Fudd and stuff on the sidelines, and they're like, yeah, the mouse. They think it's a great idea. And then the mouse looks up and he's like, I bet you're really good at basketball. You're really tall. I'm not very good. I'm not very tall, but I try really, really hard. Squish.
As the tall guy again, he's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Squish. And that's when they bring Stan on. And sorry,
He gets
the
free throws then.
Yeah, but then we bring Stan on, and they get, you know, the ball's getting passed around. It gets passed to Stan, and they all just pile on him. But it like shoots out from under him.
It goes in.
It goes in. That must be a 3-pointer.
Oh, it had to have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought even with the foul, it should have been given as a 4 if there was such a thing.
But it's given as a 3-pointer, which is when, this is when we see the score get leveled up to 77-76 after Stan. And I love that they come out and they're like, right, we got to fix him. And they like pump him full of the air and then pull it out. And, you know, it's a fart gag, you know, that's as simple as way. But I love that it goes to Pepe Le Pew, who picks up the nose peg and he's like, ew.
Yeah. And
like this skunk, it's too much for even the skunk, like.
The camera work here is brilliant because like he's cartoonized.
Yeah, he's cartoonized and he's flying around.
When he hits the deck, he's just back to normal. Like.
Yeah, it's done very, very
so
well.
I'd say when they're doing that, like when they're taking him off the cartoon, he obviously dropped himself from a height, maybe 5 feet.
I'd say
he
just drops down onto like a cushion thing,
Yeah.
And then I love that Jordan turns around to Bugs, and it's like, you know, there's like 10 seconds left in the game or whatever, and he's like, how did he do that? And he's like, oh, this is Looney Tune land. You can do anything. And just stretches Daffy's neck out. Yeah. And then the ref, Martin Martian, comes over and he's like, Mr. Jordan, your airness, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you don't field another player, you guys are going to have to forfeit.
This bit gives you goosebumps.
This is when the legend himself comes in. Bill Murray. Here
Dan
he
Aykroyd.
is. Bill Murray comes in. Hey, I know Dan Aykroyd was in this flick.
To pop a Ghostbusters, isn't it?
Pop a Ghostbusters. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But he comes in and I just love it. Like Daffy goes straight over to him and he's like pulling at his shorts. He's like, hey, watch the shorts. Yeah, I was just wondering, how did you get here? Oh, I know the producer, so like just got a lift here with the Teamsters. So that's how it works. I love it because people talk about, you know, Deadpool breaking the fourth wall. This is breaking the fourth wall. Like Bill Murray is Bill Murray. And how did Bill Murray get onto this film? Oh, he knows the producer, so he just got a lift in.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
How, like, yeah, if you're gonna cast anyone to try that, it would have just had to been Bill Murray at that time.
Yeah, it did. Had to be Bill Murray.
And the Ghostbusters joke wouldn't have worked unless it was Dan Aykroyd in it, and you go, well, who let Bill Murray in here?
Yeah, and I don't think it works as well.
No.
If you say, like, Dan Aykroyd's name is kind of, it's a weird name.
Yeah. So
the joke works just that bit better. Like, who let Bill Murray in here? It doesn't really work. Yeah, Bill Murray's the bigger star. You know, he's always. But I love that, like, they're making their plan. And Bill Murray's like, we get the ball, give it to Michael, get it to the hole, he'll dominate. And they're like, we're on defense. Oh, I don't do defense.
It's just like,
And Jordan's just like, listen, just get me the ball and I'll score.
Yeah,
okay.
The funny thing was there, when they were playing golf, he was asking them about getting him a trial.
Yeah. Now, like, listen. Oh, he kind of asked Larry more than anything. He's like, listen, with all these players gone, you know, the NBA needs some fresh players. What about me? You can't. Look, listen, you can't jump. Yeah, okay. I love it. Like, he gets told, you know, you can't jump, you can't shoot, and he's like, yeah, but okay, right, but I could still play. Like, he accepts that he wouldn't be any good.
Did you notice the joke though, where he's like, you can't jump?
Yeah, white men can't jump. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
But you know what else we missed there when we were saying about them being on the golf course? When they leave Stan at the hole. Oh, I'm just going to write this boat down for Tuesday. We were in no condition to put.
Yeah, that's fair.
Genius.
But Bill Murray comes on and they get the ball back.
This is brilliant.
From Bill Murray's but Bill Murray's genius. You see this big kind of chunky looking fella over here?
He whispers
the plan. So the whistle gets blown. And I love that he like cocks his legs, and it's like a shotgun.
Yeah. And he has the helmet on, he has the American football helmet on.
Yeah.
He's like,
just runs straight into your man's stomach. Bing! Ball pops out. Bill Murray dribbling along. I'm going left. But
he's not.
He doesn't go left.
He sells that feint so well.
Fakes him out with his boots, he does. And I love it. He's like, never trust an earthling. It just runs past him.
Sent the man for a hot dog.
Yeah, broke his ankles there, he did. But it's just never trust an earthling.
And
Okay.
again, another pop at Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And then he runs past him. The ball gets given to Michael on about the halfway line.
This is
And
brilliant. And it's
he
down to
like
about
steps
3 or
on
4 seconds.
he steps on your man's face, steps
That
on
is
his
harsh.
ass, and then just jumps. And you're just like, how is he gonna? Is this a 3-pointer? You know, he's shooting from half court.
Well,
That's where the
anything
shot
else,
started.
it's all just 3-pointers, isn't it? Even if you have it in your own half court.
Yeah, anything outside of there's a
The ring, the circle
ring
thing.
is a 3, but he doesn't get 3-pointer. He gets 2 because it's a slam dunk. So technically, he doesn't score from outside there. So it's a 2-pointer in the film, which is technically correct, but nobody would ever be able to dunk from the halfway line.
No, obviously not. But like, if you jumped from outside it and released the ball inside it, it's only 2 points.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know how that works. So
yeah, see, once you're inside that like that little circle, it's 2 points. So
even if you haven't touched the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
and now
okay,
if you shoot from outside and land inside, if you let go of the ball outside, it'd be a 3-pointer.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But Jordan dives, and I love, like, you know, all the aliens dive and grab his legs, and you just see him look back, and he's just like, nope, just keep going. And his arm just stretches and stretches, and he's got the world's longest arm here.
The animatronics in it's brilliant as well.
I love his arm just gets over the thing. He's like, it's just real simple.
He doesn't even dunk it. He just lets it go.
Yeah, just. And they win, 78-77. And they're all celebrating.
What a game.
Yeah, they're all celebrating and stuff. And I love that, Swackhammer comes in and he's like, losers, just giving out to them. And they're like, sorry.
Yeah. Idiots. You ruined it.
Why do you guys take this from him? Because he's bigger
than we used to be.
And then they like strap him into the rocket and just off he goes into the air. And I love that it pans to Wile E. Coyote here because that's his thing. Is to strap people
rocket,
to rockets. Yeah.
It's usually himself.
Yeah, usually himself. Oh, actually, just when they're doing the Tune meeting, did you notice that Wile E. Coyote enters from the roof because his rocket crashes down into it? After he got shot off earlier when he went to get off the rocket earlier. That's so good. But they win, and Jordan's like, you have to give the powers back, and the little aliens are like, do we have to? And he's like, yeah, you do. So they give it back, and then they're like, can we stay here? And the Looney Tunes are like, I don't know if you're loony enough. Of course we are. They're like, they all dress up as the other Looney Tunes, and they're like bonking each other on the head, and then they shoot each other at the end. You have to say that if this was made now, like, that would have been a huge spin-off. They would have been like the Minions. They
should have been. I thought Looney Tunes might have brought them into it.
I think Looney Tunes did make a little small thing. It just didn't seem to take off. But if this was now, they would have been. Huge.
They were. Like, that was gold.
Yeah, that would have been gold.
What's the odds they show up in the new one?
I don't know. Like, do they come and save it? But like, they can't because they're not going to be the big stars. I don't know.
They will have some part in the new one.
I would imagine they'll show up in some way. Yeah.
And Swackhammer too.
Swackhammer will be the one that's actually behind it all.
Genius.
Maybe, but I love that Jordan shows back up.
Don't add us on that one.
Yeah, I love that Jordan shows back up, and all the lads are sitting in the thing, and they're talking about like what they could do, and Muggsy's like, "At least you guys are all still tall. I'm just another short guy," and they're like, "Yeah, you got that right, Muggsy."
I love how he opens the door, and it's just the white silhouette.
Yeah,
or the black silhouette, the big white light.
Yeah, and who's that? Oh, it's Michael. Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
And he's like,
well, actually, no, we missed a bit there because Stan comes running up to him, and he's like, Michael, do you know what
you gotta get back for the game.
Like, and what's his name? Porky, or is it Porky that comes up to him? And he has all the watches on.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's about 7:15.
It's a quarter 7:15.
We can still make the game.
So they make it back to the game too. Who cares about that baseball? I love that he shows back up to the lads, and they're like, he's like, you guys have lost your talent. Well, whatever talent you had to begin with, and I just love it. Like, he just shits on them,
Yeah.
Which is just exactly like
all of you.
Which is exactly what Michael was kind of like. Now, like, this isn't to shit on like the likes of Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley. Like, they were monster players back in the day. They were. The others were kind of not really big names. Ewing and Charles Barkley are two of the biggest names behind Jordan at that kind of era.
Yeah.
That didn't play. That didn't play along with him to, you know. But he tells them, you know, you got to put your hands on this and you'll all get your powers back. So they do, and they all get their powers back. And they're like, do you want to come and play a little 3v3? And he's like, nah, I got to go. And they're like, oh, he's a baseball player now. He doesn't go what it takes anymore. And that's when you see pans to the Chicago Bulls. And it's just like, welcome back, Michael Jordan.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And as we all know, his career went on again to...
It didn't go as high though, did it?
It did for a while, yeah.
Oh, did it? As it says, I didn't watch basketball at all.
No, he came back to roaring success.
He left the Bulls as well then, and he bought a team, didn't he? He bought the Magics. Was it the Magics?
Years later, he did that. Yeah, years later.
And he played for them for a year or something.
Yeah, but they weren't really any good.
Yeah, no, that's all I know. I don't know the rule. I know very little rules or anything about basketball.
Yeah, it's really fast paced. It's enjoyable to watch.
Oh yeah, I've watched some of it, and I'm just looking at the count. Fuck.
It's such a fast paced game. It's great.
Yeah, it's like hockey.
Yeah. This, like as I said at the start, this is the best film ever made to me. Like nothing will ever beat this. It's got everything you could want. You know, it's family friendly. But you get to watch
some adult
Jordan.
jokes.
Yeah, and you know, you've got Jordan, you've got Bill Murray, you've got Danny DeVito, who was Swackhammer, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley.
Danny DeVito is gold in anything.
Yeah, then you know, you've got all the Looney Tunes. It's so good, it's so enjoyable to watch. Like I watch this. Honestly, I don't think there's been a year where I haven't watched this.
Like as I said to you earlier on during this lockdown, where I said to you, I says when Space Jam came on to Netflix, me and Finn
I was straight on it. I was straight on it.
Finn watched that every day for 4 weeks straight.
Yeah.
And he loves it.
Yeah. It's impossible not to love it. Like, and the new one is going to get a lot of bad rep. It is.
Oh, it's going to be slaughtered.
It's going to be slaughtered. But I'm telling you now, kids are going to love it.
Yeah.
Like for the kids of this generation, they're going to love that, and they're going to look back on it the way we look back on Space Jam. So like I have no problem with, like, it's not made for me. Like I'm sure if you were an adult and you saw this for the first time, you didn't think it was great. I'm sure my parents were sick of me putting this on when I was a kid, but I loved this, and like I watched this all the time.
How could you not though? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I used to just play this, like put that on. I used to hate the fact that I had to rewind it, because then I had to wait to watch it again, because you never thought to rewind when you finished watching it, you know? I literally went to watching it the next time where you had to put the bloody tape in and rewind it.
My VHS system that we had in my ma's automatically rewound, so when it was finished, it just automatically done it.
I think the problem for me was that I never let the film actually get to the end, because the end is after all the credits, and I never let it get there. I just stopped it and turned it off. The film was over. Was your VHS now, did you have a button to push for the rewind, or was it a little circular twist? A button. Oh, so the one that we had, if you didn't let it get to all the way to the end, there's like where you had the play and the stop. There was a thing you twisted left or right to fast forward and rewind. Yeah, no, we had the little buttons. So I used to have to put it back in, rewind it. I'm pretty sure the tape isn't rewound at the moment. I'm pretty sure it's just at the end. It'll never be rewound now. If I found a VHS player, I might Would you watch it on VHS? Yeah. You know, was there any changes made from the VHS to the DVD? I don't know. I'd have to watch it side by side to see. I'd have to watch the VHS to tell you, you know? Well, I know there's a few VHSs in my ma's. Like, I was up there in the shed the other day, and I found Patch Adams. Oh, yeah. I found Flubber. That was another green box. Yeah. I found Hook. Oh, what a film. Now, as it says, I really loved Robin Williams growing up. Yeah, I never had Hook as a VHS, an actual VHS. What I had Hook on was it was on the Big Movie, and I recorded it. So I had a Hook tape, but it wasn't an official Hook tape. Yeah. Pirating before pirating was a thing, you know? Yeah, no, see, my uncle used to buy all I don't know where he used to go. He used to go to Extravision or Chavis's or something. He used to buy them all on special, and he used to just watch them once and then give them to me. Mm. And like that's essentially where my love for movies came from, him giving me all these movies. Mine's a bit weird because my parents weren't big into films. No, my parents aren't either. But nobody in my family, like, my uncle would have been quite big into them, but I wouldn't have seen him a whole a whole lot because he lived in Wexford, like.
Yeah.
So I just have seen him, whenever we went down there and stuff like that. And as a kid, you wanted toys more than anything, so that's what you were happy to get. So I don't think I really had, I didn't really have a whole lot of VHSs or anything, which didn't matter to me because I had Space Jam.
Oh no, I had loads. Like my Uncle Pat used to go out and he'd buy them all.
Yeah.
And then he'd watch them maybe once or twice, and then I'd be over knocking out with my dad, obviously playing golf or playing pigeon putt, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd come in and he'd be like, "There's videos in there for you. Take them home, have a watch of them."
Yeah.
God knows what they'd be. They were the most random things.
Yeah.
But,
no, that was never the case for us. Like when I was growing up, I only needed Space Jam.
Well, like I had Hook. I think I've watched Hook. I'd say easily over 1,000 times.
Yeah. I'm definitely the same on this. Like, and even since I stopped using VHS, I don't think there's ever been a year. Do you know when people tell you, "Oh, like I watch that film at least once a year"? I can genuinely say I don't think there's ever been a year where I haven't watched Space Jam. Ever.
Like for you, like that's your obviously your comfort movie. Like if you want to watch something and no real care in the world, you can put that on.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, there's certain ones that I'll do the same, but they'd be more horror movies for me.
Yeah.
Obviously they're not as old as Space Jam, but like there's certain ones like I'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street probably 3 times a year.
Well, that's older than Space Jam, to be fair, but
but that's just for instance.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Wrong Turn collection once a year, all 6 of them. Even if they are shy, people think they're shy. I like them.
Doesn't matter.
Don't at me on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, this film just, to me, like as you said, this is just my film. Like nothing will ever come past this for me. Like this is the best film in the world to me.
They don't make them like this anymore.
I don't think they could. Not for me, anyway. Like I genuinely don't think anything will ever surpass this for me. It's my favorite film ever. If I went to someone's house and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put on Space Jam," yeah, perfect. What film do you want to watch? What film do you want to watch? Space Jam. That's it. Anytime I get asked Space Jam, isn't that a kids' film? Yeah, fucking put it on.
Like this movie for me is, if it's on the telly, I'll watch it. I won't turn it off. I won't look for another movie. So that kind of way. If it's on, it doesn't matter where it starts from. If half an hour in, if there's 15 minutes left,
oh yeah,
I will put it on.
Yeah.
Like that's what when Finn watched it, when I watched it with him during the lockdown, and he was sitting there and he was glued to it. I thought he'd lose interest because I was texting you when he was doing it, and I thought he'd be glued. I thought he'd lose interest in it. You know, obviously not all.
As most kids do, like most kids don't sit down and watch a film the whole way through.
The whole thing with me, and I was like,
yeah, good lad. Knows his stuff.
Next morning, then it was about 7 o'clock when he woke up and said, "Can I watch Space Jam?" I was like, "Yeah, here you go. There's your iPad. Go watch Space Jam."
Off you go and watch it. I don't think the new one's going to be as good. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it the way I enjoyed this one. But like, I'm buzzing for that. Like, I can't wait to go see it. I'll be going seeing it this weekend when it comes out now.
Yeah, well, it should be out today. Is it?
I think it's out either today or tomorrow. I don't know if today's the premiere and tomorrow's when it's officially out for everybody. But I'll be going this weekend now to watch this.
It's a strange one. I'm actually off. Maybe might be able to do this Swingle Owl cinema trip. Yeah,
well, I'm going to it. I don't care who else is there.
I'll see. I might see. Maybe me, you, and Fingo.
No. I can't get the first time I go see it. Can't be with a child because the child might get distracted. I know you said he didn't get distracted watching this. Nah, sorry. Had to sit down and watch it.
Give him a packet of popcorn. He's not gonna move.
Possibly, but that can't be done for Space Jam. First watch a Space Jam. Serious watch. No children, please. I'll be going to a late showing.
11 o'clock showing. Yeah. Why is there kids here?
Sorry, your children need to go home and go to bed. Thank you. Yeah. Goodbye. But that's it for this week. So good luck.